Sat Shri Akal. Yay, I love that. Awesome. So, yeah, where to start? I hope the applause was for Sardar Singh, not for me. I didn't do anything. He is the hero. So I have a question. What do you think about holidays? Is it good or bad? Okay. Bad? Good. Awesome. Imagine, I would tell you, you can create a life where you don't need any kind of vacations from. How does it sound? Bad or good? Good? Imagine you could create your own life, and you don't need any kind of vacations. Never. That sounds great, no? No. Who said no? Please get out of here. All right. So my name is Kezban Klein. I'm Turkish. I was born in Germany. And I was raised up watching Bollywood movies now and then, and Bollywood series like Amar, Akbar, Anthony, Ping. And yeah, I always wanted to live in India, so God made it happen, thank you. And as I want to also thank Sumir Walia for inviting me here. And the universe, thank you, universe. Yeah, I was more or less raised up by my mom. My mom had 6 siblings, and she had to take care of those siblings. And my grandfather was due back in the day at the opinion, she doesn't need to study, women doesn't need to study, they have to take care of kids or of siblings. And so my mom didn't study, she got married later, and she got us kids. And our financial situation was not so good, so she had to work. She started to work, and my mom was a person who was always super positive, and she could wake up in the mornings, and she went to bed very, very late, and she had always this kind of energy, which was like, yeah, inspiring, or somehow like a fire in her. And when we had parenting days at school, where my school friends' parents were teachers, doctors, lawyers, managers, they asked my mom, Remy, her nickname, Remy, what are you doing? I mean, how come that you are always so positive? What is it, what keeps you so positive? And what's your job? She said, I'm a cleaner. My mom used to clean in schools to survive. And she said, I'm doing this for my kids. And she was happy about it. Later, much, much later, I understood what drove her. I started my career with 20. How old are you guys, by the way? 19, 20? Okay, so I started with 20. I did an internship at a record label, music label, which is like awesome to work for. I was ready to see all the rock stars. And my first 4 months of my time at this record label, I was doing Xeroxing, archive work. So I started in the mornings at 10 o'clock, and I started to do Xeroxing every day, and every evening, every day. So it was like an ongoing thing. So I was not really motivated. It was a kind of a boring job, to be honest. And I was like, oh, when this is like the job, I will never work. I will get married, have kids, do nothing, a rich man. So, like after 4 months, I was almost giving up. I met this guy, and I was handling this Xerox machine, and I was putting this thing down like, bam, bam. And this guy came to me, he was at the other machine, and he said, what did the machine do to you? I said, huh? What do you mean? So he's like, yeah, why are you so mad with it? And I said, I'm not mad with that. So, and then I just started to talk and told him, since 4 months I'm here, I'm doing nothing than Xeroxing. I can't even breathe anymore. It's completely blue because of the Xerox color. And I just complained and complained and complained, and I felt good, and he was like, okay, and I was like, all right. So one day later I come to work, the HR manager asked me to come to his office, and I was a little bit scared, why? And he said to me, there was a merge of the company, So he asked me if I can translate some words. During that time, in Germany, we didn't speak much English. So there were a merge of a German company with an English company, and there were 10 words like licensing in this music industry, and I had to translate it for the entire team. So he gave me 10 words, and he said, 1 week deadline, please go ahead and do this job. So translate it, and then I said, okay, I looked at the word, and I was like, hey, I read this word in all these magazines, which I'm Xeroxing every day since 4 months. So I finished the work in 1 day. I went back 1 day later. I said, work is done. He said, what? 1 day later? I said, yeah, it was easy because, I mean, I was reading the entire day these kind of magazines. And then he said, okay, so here's a list of 30 people. Please Xerox it 30 times, 10 pages. Ugh. And then distribute it. So again, Xeroxing. So I was distributing it. And then I went to the owner's office. And then I had to say to the secretary, here, this is for the owner, Mr. Thielen. And she's like, yeah, you can give it to him directly. And he turns to me, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the guy I was complaining to. So I thought I screwed up my job. Though we complain, but we still want to be there. So he took that Xerox, he read it, and 1 day later I got promoted. So I was a lucky bum. I worked at the record label as a DJ promoter. Later I was a junior A&R, senior A&R, product manager. I was blessed that people supported me always. I had my own car. I lived actually quite well. And I met even Britney Spears. And so I had a kind of a good time, and the guy who that time met me, he supported me quite well, so I was blessed. And then I started with 25, like 5 years later. I thought I start my own record label. I'm ready for it. So I started, and 3 months later I was bankrupt. The internet started during that time, and everybody was downloading the music black, so like internet piracy, maybe you heard about it. So yeah, I lost my job very quick, and I had to do something. So shit happens. It's how we deal with it. Some friends said, Kez, there's an opening at a fitness center, and they are looking for sales consultants, whatever that means. During that time, I had no idea. So I went there, I went through the interview process, it went well, I got selected. Actually, I think they were in need of people, otherwise they wouldn't have selected me. There was an opening, like fitness clubs have this day of opening, like where a lot of people are coming in and then they make a lot of memberships. So they needed to make money. And I started that day of an opening, and they said, there are a lot of people, Kez, you just show them the price, the club. The club was amazing. It was like one of the best luxury health clubs you can find anywhere in the world. And I was convinced about it. Everybody would pay a lot of money for this club. So I started, the first walk-ins came in, and I showed them the club. I was presenting it like in the museum. Here we have the pool, and this is the gym equipment. It's awesome. I had, like for 6 hours almost, I met 50 people, not even a single sign-up happened. I was like, okay, that's not meant for me. It's not my place. So I almost gave up the first day of my job, and a couple came in. And this couple wanted to have a coffee, so they were sitting down, having a cup of coffee, and they started to ask me a couple of questions. It's my first day at this job, so I don't know anything. Nobody gave me an induction. So I offered them the cup of coffee. They asked me a question. I ran in the office. I came back and answered. They asked me another question. I ran into the office. I came back. So that's my fitness exercise, to go back and forth for 4 times. After a while, they said, we want to think about it. And they said, here's the credit card. Please start our memberships. And I was like, huh? I'm touring like 50 people the entire day, like showing them the amazing club. And this couple is like not even seeing the club and taking up a membership. What is wrong with these people? Okay, so my career started there in the fitness industry. Later on, I got trained into sales, and I understood what is the essence of sales. It's building relationships. It's not selling a product. What we sell is ourselves. It's trust. It's a kind of, a rapport. I got trained by amazing sales coaches. I started to train new team members as well and tried to make them successful. So God wanted me to be in India, and I got a job offer, or we got a job offer, my ex-husband and me, in India, to run a gym as a club manager. He was the COO. That's my first job as a club manager, running a gym in Bangalore. So for 1.5 years, we were running this gym, making 144% profit, or we increased or we optimized the processes and made it better. How did we optimize the processes? We gave them skills, the team. We coached them. We showed them, we didn't cut positions, or we didn't fire anyone. We just looked at it as consultants or as club managers, what they do, and we saw where's the potential and made the best out of it. And we gave a little bit training to the people. There I realized I don't want to just do it for one club with 30 people. I would like to reach out to more people, because seeing that you can help with a little bit skill to a person to be more confident and go out and to earn better money was a kind of a thing where I was looking for a sense of the life during that time. This was 2011. So I needed 1 year to find what I want to do, and somehow IFAA approached us from Germany. They knew there's a couple in India, and we want to do something in India. So I was just hoping that they make me a director, which happened. So my husband left the country. I stayed because I love the country. I love the country. So they said, okay, this is the academy now, Kez. IFAA is an academy from Germany. They are into education. And we wanted to do something with education, so it was funny that they approached us. What happened, they said, here's the academy, do something with it. So I know how to run a gym. I know how to manage people. I know now sales processes as well. I learned also a little bit into fitness and sports. Running an academy, education, what does it mean? So I started in my first year and went out and talked to club managers. Unfortunately, most of the club managers are here as well as also in Europe, are men and former bodybuilders. So they were bodybuilders or they were lifters, and they decided, oh, I started a gym. So I'm approaching them and I'm telling them, hey, listen, if you give your team a little bit more skills, you will be more successful, you will make more money. The men are looking at me. I think I approached 500 to 1,000 clubs in the first year, realizing nobody's interested in skills. So, okay, but I want to be successful. I want to do something with this company. And I want to help people, and I know if people take it, they will be more successful. So when you run a company, you have to find solutions. So it can't be just because you are into a skill development trainings, you stuck there. You have to figure out, okay, where are your strengths? How can you bring it in? So you are a solution finder. And it comes easily. And when you have a team and you have to pay your salaries and you have to pay your taxes, so you have to be creative, otherwise you give up. Or you get bankrupt, and I had it once, so I was ready with that. During my time when I worked at the label and even at the gym, I had working timings from 10 to 7 o'clock. I had holidays, paid holidays. I had weekends off. It was amazing, the time. Today, I'm waking up at 5:30. I'm not a person who's looking for Fridays that I can have an awesome weekend. I can't wait for the Monday to come by, that I can approach those people who are coming back from their weekends and talk to them about possibilities, about changing their businesses, making them more successful. So today, I have definitely more challenges than I was having when I was doing Xeroxing. every day. So today, life is definitely harder. My last holiday was last year, like a proper holiday where I went to Turkey and visited my family, spent like a week there, and enjoyed the time, was last year. After that, I have hardly a weekend off. I didn't have any other holidays, and I'm not looking for any kind of vacations. I feel I don't need it. So I can wake up in the mornings at 5:30 and I go asleep at 11:30, 12, 1, because my days starting early, you become, when you know you have to survive, you become very experimental. I started to coach as well. I had to. So I have a lot of clients. I'm coaching them. I'm helping them to achieve their targets. That starts early morning. Then I go to my work. I have a company to drive. Then I have back-to-back meetings. And I live in a city which is Bangalore. So I don't know if you ever visited Bangalore and the traffic, but the traffic is amazing, like crazy amazing, okay? So when you have 5 meetings, you are happy if you can survive with 3. Okay, so, and it's all always at the other side of the town. So I try to fit in all those meetings in my day, and then in the evening I have to work and send my emails, etc., etc. So life generally is harder right now. When I was working for the label, I got my salaries on the 1st. When I was working at the fitness studio, I had my paid leaves, 30 paid leaves in a year. I had even sick leaves. Do you know in Germany there are social rights? When you are sick, you get like paid, like after 6 weeks. So it's like, it was an amazing time. Today, life is a little bit tougher. But there's one thing which drives me or my team. I have a team, I'm working with 3 people. And sometimes I have to tell them, I can't pay you on the 1st, I pay you on the 5th. And they are like, yes, that's fine. There's one thing what drives us. What we are doing right now, we choose to do it. So we decided to do what we are doing now. Nobody forced us to do that. I wanted it. I wanted to live in India. I wanted to do something by myself. And I wanted to do something which gives sense to my life. My team, which is with me, has more or less the same way of seeing the lives. And the funny thing is, we have the same values. Now, we are doing all those things because we love what we are doing. So, if we wouldn't love what we are doing, we wouldn't wake up in the morning at 5:30. Can't wait to wake up. We wouldn't have all these challenges. I'm training trainers who mainly, I mean, not just now it starts that there are a lot of women coming into the fitness field, starting their careers, BCom or former PR marketing girls, and but mainly it is man-driven. Like most of the trainers are men, most of the company owners are men. So I have to convince them that I know the recipe for their success. So out of maybe 100 approaches, maybe 1 or 2 signs up. A no doesn't mean it is against us, ourselves. A no is a chance to go further, to ask again. If we don't ask, we are not even able to get a no. So we keep asking. We call people if they are interested in something, we get a no, we take the phone call again, and we call again. So when you love what you're doing, you don't accept a no. When you love what you're doing, you realize, you find solutions, and you make things happen without knowing that you have the strengths for it. When you love what you're doing, and this is what I realized, my mom was loving what she was doing, cleaning, but she was loving to work, to be independent as a woman, without an education, taking care of her kids. So she was loving what she was doing. Recently I asked her, and she said, I'm missing it, the time she's now retired. If you love what you're doing, life becomes not easier, but it's easier to manage. So you guys are now 19, 20, 21 years old. Now you're studying, you have an awesome possibility. You have the chance to find out what is it, what you would like to do. If you love what you are doing, you are not looking for vacations. Imagine, you find out what you really love to do, whatever it is. Go for it. I needed 18 years of my life to find out what it is. And the 18 years helped me. The 18 years helped me now to stand here and to talk to you about it, because, I mean, it's not wasted. Because otherwise, I wouldn't know how to find all those solutions, which I have to find to survive. If you love what you do, or if you know what you love, have a dream, make a plan. Otherwise, your dream is just a wish. I knew I wanted to be something. I wanted to be an entrepreneur one day. I tried it once, I failed. Today, I'm not as successful as I wish, but I know I didn't fail yet. The company is 3 years old, and we have 250 clubs we are working with, all over India in 6 cities, right now in Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Indore, Mumbai, Pune, and Bangalore. And I'm hopefully I start in Chandigarh soon as well. So find out what you love, go for it. Try to convince your families that they support you. I'm sure if your family, I mean, here's the thing. I have a lot of people who are coming to me and asking for advices. They are former managers, PR people. They want to start their career in fitness. Fitness is a growing market in India. And they ask me, what can I do? How can I start my career? And then I guide them. And then there's one topic which comes always up. Can you talk to my parents? I do talk to parents as well. I tell them, your kid can start here. It can go further here. It's not expensive. And later, they can even start their own businesses, opening clubs, or helping other people in being or having a healthy life. So don't underestimate fitness in your lives. Fitness is a lifestyle. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met Mr. Soumya and wouldn't have been here. Think about it. If you love what you do, you can create a life where you don't need any kind of vacations from. How does it sound? Thank you very much. Sat Shri Akal.